My journey from Abul Khair High School to US. Well, actually, what I did, no special things. I actually I I check it and search it about the requirements I need, and I went to take all my standardized tests, ranging from TOEFL to SAT to all the other tests, and I applied, and thank God I got some offers, and I got enough scholarship to come here. And yeah, this is how I came here. In terms of the, I would say the culture. To be honest, I didn't find really any culture shock, and I really felt like I'm home because people are really friendly here and they accept international students, and I didn't have any problem with people here. And I think that's because universities here are more diverse. So we usually have a lot of international students too. So I think they were kind of used to it. So I didn't find any problem with people here. They are really friendly, and it's really easy to have friends, to make friends here, and to engage in the community. This is one of the reasons why I really chose US, because it's really easy to integrate in their community. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, you definitely did.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, where
Uh,
you're living?
okay, in the US universities, they require you to stay in a dorm for the first year, because
Mm-hmm.
they say you should integrate in the community, and the best way to integrate and to engage is to live in a dorm. So you usually have a roommate to meet people when you're walking out of the residence. So that's how they approach this thing. So I am living in a dorm, like it's a double room, if I want to say double bedroom. So I have
Yeah.
a roommate, and it's like a regular room. We have our desk, a private bathroom, a closet, and that's it. I mean, it's a normal dorm, but dorms here are really big. So because all the
Yeah.
freshmen is like people who are starting the first year here, stay in the dorm. So kind of each dorm or residence has 4,000 residents. 400, sorry.
Yeah. Right. I get you.
Yeah.
Right. I
And
get
just
you.
to give you a very quick overview about the university is really big, and there are a lot of residence halls. So we have 23,000 students. I mean, I'm just giving you an overview about the situation here.
20,000 students. Wow.
Um,
So I guess we'll go on to let's see. Yeah, Wisal Daragik.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Then, actually, what I want to ask about it is, Naoufel, what are the obstacles you have faced?
the obstacles, not obstacles, but it's just like it requires some effort and energy, is taking the standardized test. Because usually if you want to take the TOEFL or take the SAT, you should travel to Rabat or Casablanca. So going to Casablanca, coming back, and it was a lot of in my last year in high school, the baccalaureate, so second baccalaureate. So traveling, coming back, sacrificing all my vacations for this. That was well, one of the best things I had, it's just by chance, is I started my fall semester online. The first semester I started online. So I kind of got used to the system before coming here. So when I came here, I already knew my professors. I already knew what should I do, how homeworks work, how is the educational system. That was a really big or beneficial thing I had. I'm studying a bachelor's degree, and the bachelor's degree in US is 4 years. So that's my first year, and I still have 3 other years here. But people are really friendly here. I didn't find any problems with people, to be honest, and you can really easily make friends here, to be honest. I have now friends from different places, from different backgrounds. I have I even had some friends when they told me their country, I didn't know it. I had a friend from Turkmenistan, and in the first place, I didn't know that it's a country. Yeah. So I didn't find any problem with that. And also in the religion perspective, like Islam, I didn't find any problem with that. All people accept, they respect you. I pray like in my room, and my roommate respects me, and I respect them. There are even some girls from Jordan, I think, studying here, their PhD, and they have hijab, and there was no problem. They attend the classes. Professors are friendly. I mean, there was no problem with the religion thing. I
Thank you.
hope I answered your question.
Yeah, thank you so much.
But what are the benefits I get from the US? I think the best advantage I get from studying in the US is the opportunities. There are abundance of opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities here you cannot imagine. Because people are really friendly and handy, you get a lot of opportunities. I'm speaking about opportunities not only in jobs, not only in studies, but also opportunities to attend conferences, opportunities to attend events that are where big companies come. Um, you have the opportunity to meet people. I met a person who pursued his master's in Harvard, and trust me, it's crazy. And I have a friend of mine right now. We are working on a project. He have done an internship in SpaceX. So having the opportunity to meet with people like that is an absolute advantage you get from coming to the US and studying in a US university. And also the professors are really good, and they know what they're doing, because there are some professors who graduated from Stanford and from Princeton, which are like one of the best universities in the US. And having the opportunity to be taught by those professors is really good. You meet people from Texas, from Florida, from Boston. Just meeting American students here from different backgrounds is already a really good thing. And a lot of people usually ask me, my family, like, what did you find different in the US? I think US or US universities, they focus on one thing, which is facilities. They want to ensure that you have all the facilities, you are comfortable while you're pursuing your studies. So we usually have our dorms, we have the study rooms, we have a library where 3,000 seats can be available there. We have student areas in each department. We have kind of a training center, which is four floors. And so they try to ensure that you have all the comfortable zone, if you want to say, or environment to study, so you don't have to worry about other things. For food, we have restaurants, and it's a self-service or buffet, if you want to say. So you just go, enter, eat what you want, and leave. So I don't have to go and cook my stuff. So I save a lot of time for that.
So
I hope I answered your question.
yes, you did. Thank you. You covered all of the idea.
All right. Good.
Yeah, thank you. So I guess we'll go to Manar Saudi.
Thank you, Ryan. So first of all, I want to thank you, Naoufel, for being here today. I mean, it's been a while. So my question is, can you tell me like what types of projects have you completed during your study this year?
So here in the in my university, I completed only one semester, which is from December to May. I just finished my last exams 2 days ago. So what I did, to be honest, as I told you, there are a lot of opportunities here. So I think I've done much. So I joined the International Students Advisory Board. So I'm in a programming committee. So we usually kind of organize the events for international students. This is a part of the organization. I joined it's an organization named Women of Aerospace. and this organization works on women empowerment and boosting women involvement in STEM field, which means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So we want more females to engage in engineering and in technology. So I am the IT lead there. So I usually manage their website, social media, everything related to IT. Those are like the more informal organizations, if you want to say. It's more about student involvement. But speaking about professional organizations, there is an organization here called the Space Cowboys. So actually this organization, which we build rockets. That's it. And we built a rocket this semester, and I work on the simulation team. So we usually try to simulate and design the rocket in the software. Then after, other teams build the rocket. And what a coincidence, this weekend we're launching the rocket here, and it's a really huge rocket, to be honest. Yeah, so that's one of the professional organizations I joined. And the project I was working on is this rocket. How can we design the rocket? How can we make the rocket more stable, if you want to say? So it's more technical position, if you want to say. And now I applied for a job and I got accepted. So I will be working as a conference supervisor this summer, and this job is paying for my summer housing and my food and paying me to do that. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I applied for the job. Kind of a summary of what I did here. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Good luck with everything.
I appreciate it.
Let's go now to Mana Al-Abbadi.
Yes, thank you. So first of all, thank you for joining our class. It's a huge honor to have you here with us, and also congrats on your job. And my question for you is, how did being a high-up student or a high-up leader, so to say, helped through your journey?
As a high-up student, how I went through the journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let me explain a little bit how I did that, how I came to the US, just to explain more. So let me explain my real story. So back in the 9th grade, I started thinking about what I want to do after my high school. And I started searching about opportunities, what's going on, speaking with people. That's a really good thing. Try to speak with people who have experience. And finally, I decided that I would study abroad, of course. After deciding that I would study abroad, I started searching in all countries, which means France, US, Canada, UK, Singapore, Italy, Australia, and New Zealand, everything. But after a little while, which is like in the 10th grade, which is the first year in high school, I decided that I would want to pursue my higher studies in English. So I don't want to study in French after my high school. So for this reason, I limited myself in certain countries, which is the US, Canada, UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Those are the countries where you can study in English. So after deciding that, I started looking at the requirements and speaking and emailing people about what should I have, what should I do, what are the requirements in order to have an admission there. And I found out that I need certain tests, which is TOEFL, SAT, college statement, different stuff or different standardized tests I had in order to apply for the US universities. Because for me, I didn't get an invitation from universities here. Actually, I applied and I got back. So when I knew that, I planned, and that's the best key to do if you want to reach your goal. Plan, guys, because when I knew that I need to take the TOEFL and I need to take the SAT and I need to do this and this and this, I planned everything. So I took my TOEFL and my IELTS in the summer of my 11th grade, which is the summer before my second baccalaureate. And in my second baccalaureate, which means the first semester, I went, before COVID, of course, I went to take my SAT and to prepare for my application, because the application is a huge form. It's not a huge form, a huge application. It takes a long time because you need recommendation letters, you need standardized tests, you need essays to write essays. And that's one of the skills you need to gain from teacher Khalid classes. You know, you should know how to write essays, and not just write essays, how to write essays to convince the reader. That's really important, because writing essays, it may be easy for you because you're already kind of a C-level students, but how to convince the reader, that's really important. How can I use my words to convince the reader? Because universities here ask you to write essays. They can ask you, well, you want to go to Harvard. Okay. Harvard will ask you, please can you write an essay explaining how Harvard will help you in your career? And that's not easy question, to be honest. It may seem easy, but it's not. It might seem easy, but it's not when you're writing. And you also have to prepare recommendation letters, as I said, and it's a the personal statement. What is a personal statement? You have 650 words, which is like 3 pages or 4 pages, and write about anything in your life to convince the admission office to accept you. So you have all the freedom to write about anything in your life in order to convince the admission office to accept you. That's not easy. It takes time to think about what you should write. So going through this journey, I kind of gathered all the things I need, and I applied. And after applying, you get interviews from admission office to speak with you and to discuss with you. And after getting interviews and getting accepted, there is another application for scholarships, because getting accepted, you may get an acceptance letter, but it's not affordable at all. I'm speaking about thousands of dollars. US universities are really expensive, so you should definitely get a scholarship. But the US educational system has a lot of scholarships. So trust me, even though the US university tuition is really high, but they have a lot of scholarships. And that's kind of the difference between US and the UK, because when I applied to the UK, even though UK universities are kind of lower tuition, which means I'm speaking of lower tuition, I'm speaking about $30,000 per year. Even though it's lower, but they don't have a lot of scholarships. However, in the US, you may find universities with $75,000, with $100,000, but with enough scholarships because they gave up to 70%, 80%, 100%. There are some students who go to Harvard for free. They don't pay anything because there are a lot of scholarships together. So that's kind of the summary of my journey, how I went from Berkane to US. I hope I answered your question, but if you want more information, if I didn't really answer your question, just reach me and ask me again or reach me out. You have my email.
No, that was okay. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. So it's from Berkane to American, if you remember that.
Wow. Yeah.
That.
We should write a book.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll go to Kinza Mahmoudi.
Thank you, Ryan. So first of all, thank you, Naoufel, for being here. I just wanted to ask if you have found any difficulties during your coursework.
Oh, all right. Well, speaking about the coursework, you will be kind of shocked about US educational system. Why? Because lectures here, classes are only 15 minutes. And they give you all the notes before coming to the class. This means you don't have to take notes while in the class. So the only thing you're focused on in the class is you're focused with the lecture and what the professor is saying. And because it's 15 minutes, I asked the professor in psychology why lectures in the US are only 15 minutes, because he told me after 15 minutes, students start losing concentration. And we don't want that. So he said, it's better for us to have 15-minute lectures and a lot of lectures rather than 2 hours, the 3 hour lecture, but only one lecture, because that depends on the productivity of the students. So having only 15 minutes in each lecture is really helpful, because when you go to the class and you already have your notes, so you only follow up with the professor. Of course, if you are a smart student and you're not an average student, you don't want to be average, you will take more notes. But if you don't want to take more notes, you already have your notes and you only follow with your professor what he's saying, and it's only 15 minutes. But let me give you one thing. Here in US, the educational system is all about homeworks. It's like how teacher Khalid work. Maybe you don't study much in the lecture, but trust me, a lot of assignments, a lot of homeworks. That's why I usually kind of advise students to have a skill, which is how can I study by myself? And that's why I really believe in self-education, because now in the US there are no extra classes. I spoke with American students. They never knew there is a concept called extra classes. They don't know what's that.
Yeah.
So go attend the lecture, check your notes, go back to your study area or environment, and do your homeworks and assignments. And the professor doesn't give you everything. You should search. And that's why I always push students to gain the skill of studying by themselves and not depending on the teacher. Because here there are a lot of homeworks, trust me. And each class or each course gives you a lot of homework, because exams, there are not a lot of exams here. In each course, you take only 2 exams in the whole semester, but a lot of homework, and that's what depends on your grade. And grade is another issue, but the coursework, each course have 2 lectures per week. So you study for 100 minutes per week in each course. But you have a lot of homeworks to do. So just keep in mind that thing. And trust me, grades, no one cares about grades here. So you can get an A in your exam and don't get an A in your final grade, because the professor doesn't care about what you got in the exam, but cares about your involvement in the course. Are you doing your homeworks? Are you self-studying? Are you engaging in the class? Are you speaking with me? Are you asking me questions? You can get really good in the exam and not get a good grade, because this is not how it works in the US. And trust me, even though you get A's, you may fail a semester. Why? Because you are not engaging in the community. You are not engaging in the campus. Why? Because there is an office called the Diversity Center here, and they track students what they are doing. So if you're staying at home in your dorm doing homework, assignments, just to get an A, you will fail the semester, and they will send you an email saying why you failed the semester, because you were not engaged in the campus, you were not engaged in organizations. So people don't really care about grades here, as long as they care about what are you understanding the material. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So, just like a simple question, how many courses are there?
So it depends on each semester. It can be 7, can be 6, can be 8. That depends on the major. So engineering students usually have a lot of courses, but from the other side, people majoring in other majors, they may have lower. So you may study. I know people who study for only 2 days per week in lectures, but
Yeah.
the other time is for homework, assignments, and engaging in organizations. Because let me explain something. Maths in Morocco is maths in the US. X equal 4 is x equal 4 here. It will not change, but organizations is the place or the environment where you learn. and especially for engineering students. Not engineering students, because business students, what they do, they have organizations where they go and do some marketing for their products, do marketing for companies. Arts, there are arts major, they go and draw, for example, I don't know, they do drawings, and that's how they enhance their skills, not in class, but in organizations and clubs. And that's the best thing we had back in Haya. That's one of the reasons why I didn't have a lot of problems and I easily integrated here, is because we kind of lived the US educational system in Hayap Academy. So we knew how that we need to be in organizations. We we were doing public speakings and discussions, and it really helps. Why? Because you will get engaged here in discussions, and if you don't know how to speak, how to give clear arguments, it's a really huge problem. That's really interesting, guys.
Yeah.
We're speaking with teacher Khalid back about the soft skills. They are really important here, because hard skills you can gain them very easily if you work hard, but soft skills are really important. And as I told you, if you don't get engaged in the community, in the campus, in organization, you may fail the semester. And I mean fail, you have to do it again.
Right. Right. So basically what he's saying is that, like, for students who, for example, did not go into any school that nurtures or teaches these 21st century skills and these soft skills, such as Hayap Academy, it's going to be like really hard if you go to the US. And for you, somebody who is like already been here and you spent a lot of years in Hayap Academy, it was much easier to integrate.
Really
Yeah, so
hard if you don't have the soft skills, if you're not a kind of a social student. It's gonna be really hard here in the US, because people
yeah, I can
care
imagine that.
about your soft skills. And trust me, I was speaking with some students who are in a speech and debate organization or club, and they are competing with national universities in debating and speaking. And also in courses, our professors usually ask us to do presentations about different topics, and they grade them. And if you don't have the ability to present clearly and know how to use PowerPoint, that's another issue. But you have to gain those skills before coming here, because if you come here without those skills, you will gain them, of course, because the environment will oblige you to have them, but you will waste a lot of time, trust me, in gaining only those skills. That's
Yeah.
why gain those skills back in high school, so when you come to higher studies, you don't care about how can I present, but you care about the content more than how you present it.
Right, right. Yeah, I understand. I can imagine how, like, it would be really important to have those, and you would be. I can imagine that you would be really thankful to, already have learned those skills here in Hayap
Teacher
Academy.
Khalid gave us keys to open a lot of doors, trust me.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. When you're back in Morocco, you will not understand what I'm saying, and you will not feel those skills. But when you come to another environment like this, you will definitely understand how important they are. They are really, really important. There are some courses, some classes we're taking, there are no exams, only
Yeah.
discussions. So the professor come with the content, with a problem, or I don't know, maybe a
Yeah, yeah.
subject, and discuss. We have a class in physics, Ryan. It's a physics class. We don't study, we
Mhm.
don't have exams. What we usually do, the professor gives us a problem, in a physics problem, of course, and tell us, now you will discuss how can you solve the problem. I know you will solve the
Wow.
problem. I know you know the method how to solve the problem, but discuss with me how you approach this way of solving the problem. So that's why I told you, soft skills, public speaking,
Wow.
leadership, it's really important, guys. And trust me, after finishing your high school and going to higher studies, you will definitely need it, really need it. And I really like a quote I read in a book. It says, your net worth is your network. And in order to have a network, you need
Mm.
your soft skills.
Yeah.